You know, a lot of us in the DIY solar and backup power world absolutely love the idea of just going big. I mean, slapping a massive, heavy-duty inverter onto a standard 12-volt battery bank sounds like the ultimate power hack to run your whole cabin off the grid, right? Well, today in this explainer, we're going to look at why hooking up a giant inverter to a 12-volt system isn't just inefficient. It can literally be a catastrophic hazard.
So we've got to ask, is your massive 12-volt inverter actually a hazard? It is so tempting to assume that bigger is always better when you're designing your setup. We all love the bragging rights, for sure. Most folks just look at that giant 5,000-watt rating printed on the box, hook up some thick cables, and call it a day. But here's the thing. The hidden danger lurking in your wiring, just waiting to cause a total system meltdown, isn't the wattage at all. It's the current.
Okay, let's dive right into this and quickly touch on the foundational math, because this dictates the entire problem. You know the formula. Current equals power divided by voltage. It is a strictly balanced, completely unforgiving relationship. Because of this, when your voltage is low, like in our standard 12-volt setups, the current must increase dramatically to deliver the same amount of power. You just can't cheat physics, guys.
But wait, here is the major plot twist that basic online tutorials completely ignore: the efficiency tax. Real-world inverters aren't magically perfectly efficient. The good ones operate at maybe around 90% efficiency. That means your battery bank has to work even harder just to make up for those energy losses that get converted straight into heat. This pushes the actual DC current draw significantly higher than your quick back-of-the-napkin math suggests. So the real current stressing out your cables is actually much, much worse than most people think.
All right, let's look at pushing 12 volts to extremes.
We'll kick things off with a 2,000-watt inverter. Factoring in that 10% efficiency loss we just talked about, your system isn't pulling 167 amps like the ideal math would suggest. No, it's pulling a massive 185 amps continuously. To put that into perspective, that is almost the entire electrical capacity of a standard American home's main breaker panel, all pulsing through a single set of DC cables. And remember, 2,000 watts is just our starting point.
Let's move up and see how this builds when we step into 3,000-watt inverter territory. Now we're demanding roughly 278 amps from a standard 12-volt battery bank. I mean, at this level, the physical strain on your system is just immense. The heat on your cables, the stress on your fuses, and the micro-resistances in every single crimp and connection, they're growing incredibly fast.
Now, what's really interesting about this next number is how it absolutely crushes the average battery bank. We hit a terrifying climax at the 5,000-watt mark, 463 amps. This number is absolutely brutal for a standard 12-volt setup. A lot of DIYers focus purely on the prestige of having that 5,000-watt rating and kind of completely forget the reality of the physics. Their batteries and wires must safely supply nearly 500 amps continuously without, melting into a puddle.
Just thinking about the overwhelming scale of this problem is wild. As you add wattage, the current doesn't just slowly creep up, it skyrockets. Going from 2,000 watts to 5,000 watts on the exact same 12-volt system takes you from a manageable, albeit high, 185 amps, all the way to a staggering 463 amps. The hardware you need to safely manage that kind of jump is fundamentally entirely different.
So that brings us to the hazards of high current.
Let's walk through a terrifying domino effect of catastrophic failure here. It's kind of like a chain reaction. Step 1. You have a slightly loose cable lug. It perfectly survived a 50 amp load for years, but suddenly, bam, it's hit with over 400 amps. Step 2. Because power loss increases exponentially with current, this creates massive resistance and a severe voltage drop. Step 3. That resistance immediately turns into extreme overheating. We are literally talking about glowing thermal hotspots at your terminals. And finally, Step 4. Melted insulation and a very real, very dangerous fire hazard.
And honestly, even if your ultra-thick cables somehow manage to survive the heat, you've got to consider the brutal impact on your battery bank itself. 463 amps will stress lead acid, small lithium, or budget battery setups well beyond their safe design limits. You're looking at significantly increased internal heating, severe voltage sag that triggers those super annoying inverter shutdowns, drastically reduced system efficiency, and, a massively shortened lifespan for your very expensive batteries.
All right, let's talk about the high voltage solution.
And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate light bulb moment. If we take that exact same 5,000-watt load but change the system voltage, the math shifts entirely in our favor. At 12 volts, we're dealing with that terrifying 463 amps, but bump the system up to 24 volts and it drops in half to 231 amps. And if we design a 48-volt system, we slash that scary current all the way down to a highly manageable 116 amps. It's a real game changer.
So if you're scaling up your power, you absolutely have to scale up your system voltage for safety and efficiency. Forcing a 12-volt system into multi-kilowatt power means you are fighting massive, expensive cables, extreme heat risk, and crippling voltage drop. It's just an uphill battle. Conversely, 48-volt systems allow for much thinner, cheaper cables, significantly less heating, and they're just far easier to physically route and design safely.
Now, the crucial point here is that 12-volt systems aren't inherently bad. Far from it. They are still absolutely ideal for small cabin solar setups, RVs, boats, and your standard portable backup systems. They are perfectly fine, totally safe, and highly efficient, right up until you try to cross into that heavy-duty multi-kilowatt territory.
Which brings us to our final question for you to ponder today. What is the true limit of your battery bank? Never assume that just because an inverter says 5,000 watts on the box, your system can automatically support the whole shebang. I really urge you to reflect on your own setup today. Check your cable sizing, calculate your real amp draw, including those sneaky efficiency losses, and ask yourself, are you building for safety or just chasing wattage? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and as always, keep learning.